Hello Year 5 and 6 and welcome to Thursday's handwriting lesson. If you can just go and write today's date and title, underline it with a ruler, remember in February has got an R after the B, and then pop back and we'll get started. So this week we've been looking at prefixes which change the meaning of the word. On Tuesday we looked at dis and miss, which change words like agree to disagree and behave to misbehave. The first word we're going to be looking at today is going to have the prefix in. And the prefix in, keeping my letters on the line, changes it so it's not. Or in, or into, which was explained by Miss Hersey on your previous video. So the first word we're going to look at is inactive. So if something is active, it is happening. If it's inactive, it's not. So these words are not. So inactive. I'm going to start on the line. Halfway up, stick for our N, round for our A, round for our C, curly cut, tall T, little I, diagonal line up for the V, and then we have inactive. So if you want to write this rule, this in, it's changing it to not. So active is inactive, which means it's not active. And you can write the word inactive and then practice that a couple of times. And then come back and we'll do the next word. Welcome back. So the next word is incorrect. So if something is correct, it is right. If something is incorrect, it's not right. So we're using the prefix in to tell us it's not right. It's incorrect. So start on the line, halfway up, diagonal for our N, round for our C, round for our O, join the O from the top, double R, remembering the sticks on our R's, our E, small c, tall T, and then go back and dot your I. So we've now got incorrect. So if you want to practice that a couple of times, and then we'll move on to the next prefix. So the next prefix is il. That's I-L. It's I-L. And we use that if the root word, I'm just going to write here, the root word, just as a reminder, starts with, root word starts, making sure all my letters are the same size, tall letters tall, with, making sure my W, all the points on my W are the same size, starts with L. So we use il if the root word starts with L. Remember that W, all the points need to be the same height. So if you want to go and write that and then come back, we can look at the words. So the first word we're going to look at is legal. If you're allowed to do it by law, it's legal. If you're not, remembering that not allowed to do it by law, it's illegal. So legal starts with L. So we know that the rule is you add the IL. So I, small letter, tall for my L. And then I'm going to write the word legal now. Another tall L, little e, curly cut for my G, curly cut for my A, and then up tall for my L, and then dot my I. So legal, which starts with an L, now becomes illegal. And the next word is legible. Something is legible, you can read it. We're going to turn that into illegible, which means you can't read it. It's not readable. So we need our ill prefix, tall, and then legible, which is an L, little e, curly cut from our G, little I, tall B, tall L, and our E. So legible, because it begins with an L, it becomes illegible. Go and have a practice of that, and then pop back. I'll come back. Our next prefix we're going to look at is in. I-N. And we use that if the root word starts with M or P. So if the root word starts with M or P, the prefix will be in. So the word possible, which when something is possible, when you can do it, becomes impossible. And possible begins with a P, so the prefix is in. So let's have a go at writing the word impossible. Start on the line, up to the middle, down for the I, stick on the M. So we've got our prefix in, and now we're going to write possible. So diagonal for the P, down under the line, making sure the belly sits on the line. Curly curve for our O. Double S, remember S is a small letter, unless it's a capital. Diagonal for our I, tall stick for our B, cross the line, up tall for our L, and then our little E. And there's our impossible. If something is possible, you can do it. If you can't, if it's not possible, it becomes impossible. And then we've got mature. So you've got mature, and if you are not mature, you are immature. So mature begins with the letter M, so we're going to add the prefix im. So it becomes im. I goes halfway, diagonal line, making sure you've got your stick on your M. And then I need to remember that mature starts with an M, so I need another M. My curly curve for my A, up for my tall T, diagonal for my U, diagonal, then my R, and then my E. Then go back and cross my T and dot my I. Remembering these M's all touch the line. We said the other day, what we don't want to see is M's like that. So if you want to go and practice, write this and practice these words a couple of times, and then come back and we'll do the next one. So the last prefix we're going to look at today is which is I, R. And that is what we use if the root word starts with an R. So the first word we're going to look at is regular. You can have regular, and the opposite of that, that's not regular, is not regular. So it's irregular. So we're going to write the word irregular. Because regular begins with the R, we need to add the IR. So there's my prefix, IR. And now I need to write the word regular. Remembering to get my sticks on my R. E. Okay, go down for my G, my U, up tall for my L, my little A, diagonal down for my R. That's not very good. I've not sat that on the line, so I'm going to practice that one again. So starting on the line, up, halfway, my diagonal for my R, which gives me my prefix, my R then for reg, my U, my tall L, my little a, and then my diagonal for my R, my dot, my I, and I've got irregular. And the last word, we are going to change responsible into irresponsible. And because responsible starts with R, we're going to add the prefix. So it's I, diagonal for my R, remembering that I still need the R for responsible. So I need another R, my little e, my little s, my P with the belly sitting on the line, my O, down for my N, my little s, my I, my tall B, my L, and my E. So we've now turned responsible into irresponsible. So have a go at writing them, and I look forward to seeing your work sent on class portfolio. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.